With all this great fruit set, the persimmon tree is leaning, and actually they both are. So in this video, we're gonna stake them up and see if we can give them support and help them do better. Hi everyone, I'm Michelle and welcome back to my meadow. I'm gardening in zone 9A in Northeast Florida. I'm not an expert gardener, but I love showing you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and embracing the imperfection that learning to garden has to offer. For this tree, we're going to use just one stake, but you may need to use 3 depending on your situation. We're using some line that is not stretchy. I have a piece of garden hose that I reclaimed from a garden hose repair project. And we're going to need a hammer. For this tree, because it's leaning this way, we're going to endeavor to pull it in this direction and give it actual support away from the way that it's leaning. One of the decisions is going to be where to actually put that string so it gives the most support and hurts the tree the least. And it needs to be near this split, but I don't think I want it all on this one branch. So I'm going to choose to put the support behind right here. First, I'm going to go ahead and thread the string through the hose. And give this a nice bend. Wrap it where I want it. The nice thing about having this, it means that this wire right here, this string right here, doesn't cut into the tree. I think that's a good spot. So I'm going to go ahead and tie this section off here. I don't know a whole lot about knots, so I'm just tying a simple knot here for me. One that should hold, that'll slide a little bit, and voila. So I've just got me a knot that's going to hang on. Now we're going to go ahead and give it a pull and straighten that up. And we don't want to overextend it. We want to make sure that we're not pulling past the root, but at the same time, we want to make sure we're really giving it some good support. Next, we're going to put our stake in the ground. With the stake, the goal will be to create a nice angle so that the tree doesn't easily pull it out. And because my soil is so nice and loose, I tried to go as far to the edge of the garden bed as possible so that I am, 1, not hitting any of the roots of the tree, and 2, getting a much sturdier foundation. Now we're just going to try to start tightening that up. So I'm going to give this tree a pull again. And that first string wasn't long enough, so I attached a second string. I probably should have left myself a little bit more room here to wrap around. Now that I've tied that off, I'm going to go ahead and make myself a knot here. Again, I'm not a knot person. I just make something until it holds still. So now let's take a look up at the tree at how that looks and make an evaluation. Now that I'm looking at this, I don't like how this presses down on this branch. So I'm just making a little adjustment here. In fact, okay, what I discovered is that after saying I was going to put this around the middle, I put it up here. So I'm going to come back and retie this. I've untied it, and now I'm going to retie this here, because I want it to be to where it's not impinging on any of the branches. So I'm going to put this back in here and tie that again. It's always good to check your work, right? Oh, tie your glove into it. That's another important part. Make sure you tie your glove into it just for fun. There. Now, that's in a much better place. Now I can retighten it back at the stake. And she is looking much better. This is definitely better than it was. All this fruit, she's really heavy. I want to see how this goes for a couple of weeks. I may end up coming back and adding some more stakes. So let's go hit the other tree and get that one straightened up too. In this case, my string's not long enough. I have 2 pieces. I have learned this working with this kind of string. Instead of just trying to do like that overhand knot, I find that the string will hold together really, really well. If I just loop them and make a loop like this, I've got a really, really, really strong connection. Same thing for this tree. I am looking for an anchor spot that doesn't impinge on it. I've got right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and tie this off. You can buy little kits, but I'm just using upcycled things that we've had here. The string is left over from having pine and bales of hay. And then of course the hose is just from hoses that have busted that we've saved. And so now I'm going to give it a pull. I'm looking for this 45-degree angle. And so my stake should probably be in about right here. Try to put this in at a nice angle. Much better than I did last year. We'll see if that holds. Now I'm going to give the tree a pull. And so we tightened this up and it's pulling some. I haven't knotted it off yet, but I'm going to try hammering this in just a little bit more. Hoping, oh yeah, that's nice and tight, which I really don't want it that tight, but this tree is leaning so heavily, I think that's going to be okay. Hammering it in the ground was really the answer, and I do like that I have a nice blue wire on here. Frankly, it makes it really visible, so when I'm out here walking, I shouldn't accidentally trip on it like in my next garden tour or something. All right, but there's still room for this to slide if it needs to, if I need to loosen it up a little bit. All right, let's come up and take a look at how this turned out. We can see here, this is pulling from a really sturdy part. This is a center. And I can see we've actually, take a look down here at the bottom. Look how much we actually have pulled the tree over. So the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure I fill this in, and I'm gonna water that all in good to really sort of help add additional support for the tree. This has all been built on wood chips, and so it's a nice loamy soil, so it makes sense that it would be a little bit loose, but I'm hoping maybe this year, one more year of staking it, it will really get a good foundation. Well, my friends, there we have it. We got 2 persimmon trees staked today. If you have any comments or suggestions about ways that we could do this better, or questions about the persimmon tree, I welcome you to put those in the comments below. Until next time, my friends, remember to drink plenty of water, wear that high quality sunscreen, and as always, have a fantastic day.